In this video, we're going to create a tossed repeat tile using the brush tool created from the motif that we've been using to create all the other patterns. So in the previous videos, I've shown you how to define that motif as a brush. So now we're just going to open a tile size. So new, I want my tile size to be 4 inches by 3 inches. You can have any tile size. This is the one that I'm going to work with. Now, in this tile, I'm going to use my brush. And one of the things that I like to do in Photoshop is to work with a Wacom tablet with a pen. So within my brush, I can have all sorts of pen sensitivity controls with what I'm doing with my brush. So I'm going to go into Window Brush. Here's my brush pop-up. In here, I can get a really good sense of what my possibilities are with my brush. So if I click on Shape Dynamics, my pen pressure, I can have that set so that I can have a lot of different sizes of my motif. That's usually the only thing that I put on in Shape Dynamics. Scattering talks about how far away from the line your motifs will go. Because I want to be specific where I'm placing them, I actually don't want to use scattering. Color dynamics, this is kind of a cool thing because you can set the jitter for the foreground and the background color. So right now I have a light green, and why don't I set my other, let's just stick with the light green, but I want to use some of the colors that I've pulled from this. Let's use this one. So there, use the dark. So it's going to have a very nice toggle between two colors. Now I can set that so I want this to be a pretty strong jitter. And the other thing that I can do is I can set the purity of the color as well as the saturation and the hue. So I've gone through and I've done some of this alteration already. Now transfer, I don't usually do because I don't want to change the opacity yet. Brush pose, I can alter these so that I can rotate my image and I can have multiple directions of my pattern, which helps with the tossed. So I keep my brush preset, let me try to move it out of the way. I keep this open so that way I can change this as I'm doing it. So now I have my Wacom tablet, I have my pen, and as I just click once, I'm going to get my motif. Here's another one. And you can see the size variation, but now I actually want to go in here. This is why I said I like to keep this open, because I can change the orientation of my motif. That actually went off the edge. I don't want to do that. I'm being very careful not to go over any of the edges because I'm going to set the offset to be able to do that later on. So I think this is a good place to leave my middle. Now what I can do is I can go into Filter, Other, Offset, which we've used with the other combinations of things, and I can move my So now I can see the spaces that I have. I can come in here. I think you can see why I like to have this open. I can go back into my filter, other offset, and I can move it around a little bit more and see if I have any gaps. As long as when I have it open I don't go to the edges, I'm fine. It's actually a really cool way to do a toss seamless pattern. That looks pretty good. I have an empty spot over here, but remember I can't fill it like this. I have to move my offset. So I'm going to come in, other offset. I'm going to make my horizontal nothing. Well, actually that was kind of where it was. So let me now move this a little bit. And I can move this. Now I kind of see my gap. Again, going in with, now if with the toggling you have a shape that's going to be too big, this is one little trick that I do. I add a layer so that way I can stamp it to get to the right size that I want, and then I can actually get rid of that layer. So now it's toggled to a smaller one. I'm going to change my Y. Alright, that seems to be like a pretty good seamless. I'm going to select all, edit define pattern, and now I can go and test it out. Again, I'm going to select it all, file new, go back to my field size that I'm used to here, edit. Seem to copy. Let me go back and copy. My new. There's my tile. I can move it up. And now I can go in and find my pattern and fill it. And you should notice that there's no issues with any of the seams. This is really a great way to use one motif, toggle through different variations of color and size, and by using it as that brush and the offset, it allows you to create a seamless pattern pretty quickly. This is one of the funner things I have found with the brush tool lately. Hope you enjoy it.